So let's talk about one of the biggest conspiracies in A Song of Ice and Fire, that there are forces at work within the Citadel that are trying to destroy magic and, by extension, dragons. One of their own, Archmaester Marwyn, he believes that there is a targeted plan, that the Citadel wants to prevent magic from gaining a foothold in Westerosi society. When Samwell Tarly arrives at the Citadel, it's right after Maester Aemon has died on the voyage. But before he died, he begged Sam, tell the Citadel about Daenerys Targaryen, that she is the one, the mother of dragons, the prince who was promised. Now, luckily for Sam, when he arrives at the Citadel, he is taken to Archmaester Marwyn, and he is very receptive to the information that Sam provides. Marwyn says, I will go to Daenerys. And he says to Sam, stay here, but do not utter a word of this to anyone else at the Citadel. He also says it's kind of a good thing, maybe, that Maester Aemon didn't make it to the Citadel, because if he did, they might have been out to get him, because Maester Aemon is a Targaryen. This all takes place at the end of Book 4, A Feast for Crows. It's Sam's chapter. And one of the things Archmaester Marwyn tries to warn Sam about is that the Citadel were behind the death of the dragons. He says, who do you think killed all the dragons the last time around? Gallant dragon slayers armed with swords? The world the Citadel is building has no place in it for sorcery or prophecy or glass candles, much less for dragons. He says, why do you think Aemon Targaryen, Maester Aemon, was allowed to live out his days at the Wall, when by rights he should have been raised to Archmaester? It's because he's a Targaryen. The Citadel does not want to give any Targaryen any power. For Archmaester Marwyn to say this to Sam, he's been round the block, he knows things, he's experienced, he's risen up to the level of Archmaester. For someone like that to say this about the Citadel makes me feel like it's confirmation. One of the weird things they make you do when you join the Citadel is to sit in a dark room with this glass candle. This is made from obsidian, dragon glass, and it has a very important purpose. It's actually a magical means of communication, but the maesters don't understand this. They say, try and light this glass candle, knowing that you can't set it alight. It's not a real candle, it's a magical candle. Their goal is to prove that magic isn't real. No, don't focus on that. What you should focus on is what we do here at the Citadel. They are inherently dismissive of magic. If people start believing in magic, start practicing it, they're not going to listen to the Faith of the Seven or to the Citadel quite as much. And those two institutions, they can't have that. The Faith and the Citadel have the same goal in mind: to ridicule, to discredit, to dismiss anything magical, like anything. Why do you think Visenya Targaryen is recorded in history as a heretical woman? Because she was said to have dabbled in Valyrian magic. They don't want anyone seeing that and being encouraged to do the same, so Visenya is discredited, her reputation besmirched. The Citadel have a huge network. They have tentacles everywhere. If they wanted to sabotage House Targaryen by attacking the dragons, destroying them, by tampering with dragon eggs so they don't hatch, doing whatever they could do to get rid of this magical element. If they could do it, they would. They have means, motive, opportunity. I'm with Marwyn. I do think the Citadel were sabotaging the dragons. And I also think that the conspiracy theory that this sabotage extended to Targaryen women, I think that is also highly plausible. There is a very strong correlation between Targaryen women and their fertility and the fertility of dragons. Having lots of Targaryen babies and lots more new baby dragons running around, the Citadel and the Faith don't want that. So the idea that these two conspiracies against the dragons and against Targaryen women are actually just one great conspiracy spearheaded by the Citadel and by the Faith of the Seven, I buy it. House Targaryen and their magical connections and their dragons and their old Valyrian customs, that stands in direct opposition to what the Faith of the Seven and the Citadel want Westeros to be like. It's a power struggle. If you were a maester at the time of the conquest, when the Targaryens come with their dragons and take over, and they bring with them their strange and unusual customs, you probably would not like them. There would be institutional resistance to the changes these newcomers bring. And the root of House Targaryen's power is their dragons. So eliminate the dragons and you weaken House Targaryen. It's the ultimate long game, biding your time and taking any opportunity that you can to speed up the demise of a particular dragon. Pick them off one by one until there's none left. Sabotage the egg so that they don't hatch, or if they do, that the dragon does not live. Because by doing that, you take the Targaryens down off a pedestal. They're no longer closer to gods than to men. They're just ordinary people, dragonless, and as such, they are much easier to tackle.